So I think we will be up and running right now.
Oh, yeah.
And there we have it. We will be up and running.
It looks like let me refresh. Got a couple in there.
There we go. No.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm seeing it. Hey. Okay. Now we're really here. So now we got that weird delay going, as we always do in the beginning of these. We got Nick here from Renowned. Just kind of get things started, introduce everybody. So we're gonna give him all the questions today, and then obviously we still have Adam here and myself. But yeah, you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Nick. I have Renowned Reptiles. I'm out of Sacramento, California. Specialty ball pythons is my focus, but plan on expanding a little bit, not too big, into other species as well.
Yeah. You were showing me some cool stuff a little earlier. Yeah. And so Nick happens to be here in Arizona, so we figured we would just have him over tonight, and then that's why we're both in the same spot. Got to do a little interstatal interactions here between California and Arizona.
There you go.
But
Adam's still back in California.
But Adam's still back in California. Unfortunately, he's not here.
I think we did this the hard way.
We did do this the hard way. You traveled a lot further. Yeah.
Come to my place, you know.
Yeah.
Great planning. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely great. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Yeah, Miss BeachBum's here, so y'all better be paying attention, okay?
Yeah, she's watching.
Yeah, or else. But yeah, so I guess just a little quick banter, I guess, so give everybody a little bit of chance to get in. But so we were all at Pomona together, and I was gonna ask Nick, what was something interesting you might have saw at Pomona, or did you see any like trends? Like you noticed maybe there was a lot more X showing up at Pomona that you noticed in the past, you know, stuff like that.
I definitely noticed a lot more of something, but it wasn't a reptile or a morph or anything like that. It was bigger name breeders.
Yeah.
There was a lot more people that have had a lot more exposure at this show. It was packed wall to wall. I mean, it's becoming more and more and more popular, and essentially becoming the Tinley of the West Coast, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, in Justin's, what was that, his video he just came out with, he was saying this was the biggest reptile show he's ever been to.
Wow. And he was just at Tinley.
Yeah. He said I think there was more people at the Pomona show than at Tinley.
And it was a bigger building.
And it's a bigger building, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think square footage wise, Pomona has it for sure right now.
Yeah.
And then attendance, they might have got it this year too. Yeah, it was huge, man. I mean, massive.
They may have came just for the kid doing the Michael Jackson dances outside and the tacos.
That kid made my morning while we waited for those tacos.
Yeah.
So desperately.
When I walked up and gave him $5, the look on his face, like he had just found his calling in life and he now had purpose to move forward into second grade.
Yeah, second grade's looking good for him right now.
Serious.
He's going to come in swinging.
Moves.
Yeah. Heck yeah. He was out there for a while too. He wasn't playing around.
Didn't get tired.
No, it's impressive.
Yeah, that kid was impressive, definitely.
Yeah,
I think even MJ tried to get out there for a little bit, but it wasn't anything compared to that kid.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have anything on that kid.
It's almost like reincarnated.
Yeah. What about you, Adam? Did you really? I mean, I know we kind of touched base on this earlier, but did you notice anything there that I don't know? You kind of
Well, I was really interested in the indigos and the dry marcons and stuff like that this time around. I was really, really interested in those. And there was, Black Pearl, who always has really good stuff there. And then also, oh my goodness, the gentleman that Cusco got his snake from. I don't know if Cusco's on right now, but
I don't remember his name.
I feel so bad I'm forgetting his name because he's really an OG in the industry and has been doing the Eastern Indigos for a long time and produces some amazing looking animals. So for me, that was the highlight, really getting to see those species there.
Yeah. Yeah, those are really pretty. Those are really pretty. You didn't pick one up, did you?
No, I was this close. I went back over the Black Pearls table, and he had sold all of his little, the little babies in, I think, like an hour or two. Like I saw him in the morning, went and did some other stuff, came back, all gone. So
And that was on Sunday, wasn't it?
That was on Sunday. Yeah.
I felt like they were out the whole show, Saturday too. Everybody saw them. But Sunday, as soon as somebody bought one, it was wildfire.
Totally. Yeah. So, but that's okay. I mean, I didn't really need it. And I was put on the record earlier in the show saying I wasn't going to buy any reptiles.
I know. I saw that. That's funny. That's funny.
So I adhered to that.
She kept mentioning that the whole show. He's not going to get one, remember?
Didn't you come home with something, though?
We already bought it.
Did. Yeah, I had. I was picking up my bamboo spot nose puzzle female from. I know, man. She's amazing looking.
Spot nose and puzzle is going to be insane.
Yes,
it is.
Yeah, I completely agree. And yeah, so she was good. And then I also was picking up an ivory female from Mike Porter that I won in a raffle that he was doing. So
yeah,
how do you guys feel about raffles?
I mean, so this raffle was for the Challenged Athletes Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And the funny part is I didn't even know I was donating for the raffle. I just Mike I donated some snakes, and I was on the foundation's website through Mike's portal. And I just kind of was like, oh, you can donate money also. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'll also donate a little bit of money to the foundation. Lo and behold, I guess I was entering myself into the raffle.
Yeah. Yeah.
My opinion, and it's just an opinion, everyone's got one, is that unless it's for charity or to raise money for a cause, it's essentially gambling. I'm buying a lottery ticket and hoping that I win something. But either way, I paid money to somebody, an end user who essentially benefits.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have mixed feelings on them from like the standpoint of just raffling off animals and things like that. Like, I don't necessarily think it's detrimental to any sort of marketplace, right? That we have, because I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if you're strong in the market and you're producing good animals, then that's just kind of a concern that sometimes I think people blow up too much. So that aspect, I don't really care. But the other aspect is, how are you kind of controlling who gets this animal a little bit, and vetting and all that? That's always been a concern, even with the free giveaways for me.
It becomes more of a product than a living creature.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that. I'll steer off of that with the giveaways and stuff. I feel like that's a tough thing with giveaways, but I've noticed. I feel like on a couple of the snake giveaways, people have. Like, when Cusco did it, it was, he had to meet the person. He had to know that the animal was okay and stuff like that. So I've been on the fence with the snake giveaways and the animal giveaways, but I will say if you're going to do them like that, I think that's fine. Making sure that people know what's going on. You're not just dumping an animal on them. You're helping them. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's how Miguel does it also.
I know. Yeah, I saw that he does that.
Giveaways are much different than raffles.
They are.
Giveaway is based on comments and sharing. It's not financially costing me something to pass a message along.
Right.
And I could potentially benefit from passing that message along. I think it's much different than paying for a service that you may potentially receive. And just because you won a drawing off a raffle ticket doesn't mean you're the best quality caretaker for that animal.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that raffles might have a tendency to people not pay attention as much to who's getting it. Where a giveaway, I feel like people are more prone to make sure the animal's going to a good home.
100%.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
That's an interesting question. I mean, it's kind of one of those.
That's a really good question. I've talked to a couple of people about this topic before, because I'm not necessarily for them, but at the same time, I don't really care what anybody does, I guess.
Kind of how I feel about online auctions.
Yeah.
Just because you won the highest bid doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't get vetted and have like some sort of stipulation or clause in the heading of your auction saying that unless you can provide a good home and have a good base knowledge of what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Harrison's doing a raffle now. So good, Harrison. Good.
Good job, Harrison.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Well,
That's it.
We'll make sure we pump that at the end of the video for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and maybe that's something that you know, wouldn't be a bad idea to incorporate it in all of these things, because after all, it should be the animal first, right?
Right.
But
everything is cool. Put stipulation.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah,
I like that. I don't think that's a over the line opinion, I guess, or you know.
At the end of the day, it's your choice to potentially donate some money and not get anything in return.
Yep, it was willful for sure.
Yeah.
Willful. Yeah.
Gave consent.
Yeah, okay. So having said that little conversation, I guess we could start off on something way more important.
Totally.
But so I guess, let's see. I don't know. I always have a tough time with this. I hate that question that is, how did you get started? Because I feel like for most people, it's pretty similar. We all just like reptiles, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, so how'd you really get started?
Great way to lead into that.
Yeah.
So all the other kids were playing video games and watching TV, and I was outside catching bugs and smashing them in my pockets, and my mom was horrified when she would do laundry, or sometimes there'd just be living lizards in there because that's where I would keep them until I got home. And this is like 5, 6 years old, guys. This is very young.
Right. Yeah.
And then I got older.
21 doing that.
And I was still climbing trees and didn't have any interest in video games or anything like that. I still can't play video games to save my life.
Yeah.
And I got my first reptile when I was 10, and he was already 6 years old. And he was a ball python, and I still have him. And he's 26 years old.
Dude,
and it's Monty Python.
That's
the
crazy.
original gangster is the one that started it all.
26.
And from there, yeah, he's 26. He's still putting around, looks healthy as can be, still eating great. And I mean, I learned a lot by having a reptile or a ball python at that age, and I can like testify to like the argument of tanks versus tubs because I've ran the gauntlet.
Right, you've done everything with him.
I've had him in glass tanks with carpet, with a circular hide with no open sides. I've had open screens. I've had the plastic sided cages with the front glass.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and I've had cohab. I got another ball python at one point, and it was a male and a female. I had them in the cage together.
Right.
They never had eggs. They never bred. And she passed away within 2 years of me getting her, and she was an adult when I got her.
Right, so who knows how old she was.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But I put him in an FB70, and he started eating a lot better. And he was always kind of a spotty eater. Definitely had a 1,000-gram wall. Didn't eat for 6 months. I thought he was going to die.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he started eating again.
Yeah.
But off of ball python, sorry, I went off on a tangent there.
No, that's good. That's what we do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Off of ball pythons, I bred leopard geckos, and I kind of explored other reptiles. I had tortoises and some other reptiles that I kept. But I veered back to what I started with, and something I really liked. And as I dove in a little deeper, found out that there was mutations besides albino.
Dude, yeah.
And that not only were there 10 or 20 or 100, there were thousands of these things, and they're finding more and more every day. And so I feel like based on math and combos, there's endless potential.
Absolutely. So much to do.
So much potential. Yeah, like just like it's a palette.
It is. It is. And thinking of it, you know, like the layering you can do and what happens and stuff like that, you know, thinking out of the box, so much fun.
Now, I mean, going back to Pomona, we have Justin Cabella with not only a clown pied, but a, what was it, orange dream yellow bellied leopard clown pied?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's a whole nother color palette that wasn't around, or combination.
Nope.
I mean,
that's unseen.
That's hitting the reset button and starting over.
Yeah.
Okay, what can we do from here?
And then you can go from there. That's the crazy part. That's not the end. That's still not the end.
Even snakes that are relatively simple that you produced,
Right.
looks so different. Your fire yellow belly clown.
Yeah, that's a great thing too.
To you, possible het pied. To me, it's a het pied.
Yeah,
it's
I think that's
giant ringer. It's pure white.
Yeah.
But I mean, just looking at that snake,
yeah,
is like something I've never seen.
Yeah, it's a pretty snake, man.
There's all kinds of things you can do with that.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, there is, man. There's so much you can do, because even when you think you're at the end, then there's more to do to it.
Right.
You know, so
it's a moving bar.
It is. Yeah, yeah, it is. Okay, so I guess, you know, this is how many years have you been?
20 years I've been keeping reptiles.
Okay, how many years have you been breeding ball pythons then?
Just 4. This would be my 5th season.
Okay, yeah. So that's a decent amount. That's a decent number, I feel like, for, you know,
some experience.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Still learning every day.
Still, yeah. Don't know everything, never will.
Just
but,
learned that shed thing the other day.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. So I guess, having said that, you know, being at Pomona and stuff like that, do you have any like, let's say like a prediction, you maybe see the market heading in a direction the next 3-4 years down the road, or maybe even 2, just like, I guess, a general prediction?
I think that it's great that a species like ball pythons can give so much exposure to reptiles in general. I feel like, I mean, if we were to speak about drugs,
right,
ball python was the thing that got you, was the hook that got you and everything.
Right. Absolutely.
Because you can manage them. I travel a lot for work. I'm in Arizona right now for work. I'm gone for a whole week.
Right.
I know my ball pythons are okay.
They are, yeah.
They're okay.
Yeah.
I took care of them right before I left, and I'm going to take care of them as soon as I get home.
Right.
And my girlfriend went in there and made sure the AC unit didn't get stuck on or something. And
right, yeah.
Other than that, I know they have water and they're fine.
Yeah.
So I feel like that piques interest. I think the color palettes of ball python is going to give us more and more exposure, because it's more eye-catching, and they're seeing more things like that in the Petco's and PetSmarts. Bananas in there all the time now.
Oh yeah, they're fancy. They're
bananas
fancy.
Thousands of dollars a couple years ago. Thousands.
Yeah.
And now we have fancy banana ball pythons.
Fancy banana ball.
People can buy this crazy yellow snake for $200 at Petco.
Yeah, that's
$300. That's crazy.
Insane. It is, man. It is. Yeah.
So that's very promising. I think the more positive people that we have in the hobby, and the more people doing the right thing when they're on a public platform, and putting the animal's interest first, will promote people who have a similar mind.
Yeah.
And just color palettes and things that are constantly changing, and new genes like confusion.
Yeah.
That totally piqued my interest. That I love busy stuff, but typically it's busy dark. And I saw some busy bright, and I really liked it.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. That is true.
You guys are doing the puzzle stuff, which I think is just going to be insane, and it's a recessive, and it's just going to hold and hold and hold. So
yeah, that busy, like bright and dark, almost like the carpet pythons, kind of, you know, like they really highlight the yellow and black together. Yeah. I love that. Like for me, for my eyes, when I look at an animal, that's what just draws me in, you know. So totally agree. So if you had some advice to give somebody, I guess, starting out in ball pythons right now, what would you give? You know, off of everything you've learned right now, what would be something you could give somebody?
My first thing that I would tell anybody getting into this is don't think you're going to make money, and be patient.
Yeah.
If you are not a patient person, this is the wrong thing for you, because you have to wait years unless you buy adults. And it's just as hard to sell an animal as it is to breed them, and sometimes more.
Right.
Sometimes more.
Selling is difficult.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's difficult.
And I think you just need to have patience. And sometimes you'll have a huge female and she just won't go, or you'll have a male that just won't breed. And so we try to talk to people and figure out ways and share knowledge, which I love about the communities that we share, and don't block people out and say, figure it out on your own. I love that there's communities, actual communities. And my second piece of advice would be, don't buy females. I mean, don't buy males. Don't buy males. Buy females. Buy your females, grow them up, and then buy your male. Your male only needs a year. To get going. Your female needs, you know, three to 5 years sometimes.
Yeah. It can go longer. I mean, 3, I feel like, is the average. 2 is the exception, but 4 is realistic.
And you're going to be feeding that male that entire time those females are going to grow up. And you could have bought something with either more genetics or wherever your eye changed in that time. And then you buy your male.
Right.
You know? That would be my two piece, Adam.
Yeah. 2 piece. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. You know what I mean? Like a lot of, I think that's really good advice and something that I know I didn't always follow, especially when I was getting right into it, because shiny objects are very easy to get through.
Yeah, Christopher got the female first tip. 10 animals too late.
I think I had, like, when I first started buying mutations instead of just having them for pets, I think I had like 5.1.
Yeah.
That my big normal female couldn't breed my Mojave, my lesser, my Bumblebee.
So take you 9 years to get all the genes.
So I had to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think honestly, right now, I think I'm at a 1-to-1 with my current breeding stock.
Are you?
I think I have eight males and 8 females that are ready to breed right now.
I did like I would say 6 to 35 last season.
Oh wow! Okay, that's a big number.
And I had 22 clutches off of those.
Yeah, that's 35. A solid, dude. That's
a great ratio.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. And not all 35 of those females are able to breed. That's just what I keep. I think it was like I only had 3 females that didn't go.
Right.
Which was great because it was like our first rain in California in like 10 years.
Right.
The drought. And it started pouring and I just threw the males in.
Yeah, let it go.
And so I got a lot of clutches. So I'm very curious to see what I'll actually get clutch-wise this year, because not every female will go 2 years in a row. And then I have other females that came up to size that didn't go last year. So I'm hoping my number is close to that, and I just am producing even more quality animals for that same number.
Right. So do you think you want to increase production or stay the same or maybe even reduce?
I can maybe grow a tad, and by tad I mean maybe 10 more animals. But with the job that I do and trying to coach basketball for my son, and I got to have some balance and be able to excuse me, and be able to take care of the snakes and make sure that they have a good quality of life. It's got to be manageable. So I'll probably stay where I am. So kind of what I do is when I have a female that comes up to size, I don't buy another rack. Well, I'm going to buy one more rack and I'll be done. But I don't buy another rack. I just sell the female who needs to replace.
Okay.
And so I will, throughout the years, have females that are fantastic breeders for me. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not old. They don't fit. I had something a little bit better. You know, that I had to replace it with because I can't grow at what I do now.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate reality is what it is.
And I think you gotta keep an eye on that because people get all excited and start buying left and right. And not only do you have to pay to feed these things, I breed a little bit of rats. So they pretty much just feed my hatchling rack. I don't have the space or the time or the nose to grow those rats up.
Yeah, rats are rough.
Larges.
Rats are rough.
So I end up paying about $150 a week, and I feed them every week. Sometimes it's a little bit lower because I'll have a bunch of pups to feed to the hatchling rack. But other than that, I don't want to pay more than that for rats, and that's kind of where I'm at.
And that goes into, you know, staying the same, not increasing that production, because increasing that production increases all those costs. Not only the time.
I don't want to increase quantity. I want to increase quality.
Yeah. I was reading these comments really quick.
I took my glasses off because the glare is so bad, but I can't read any of your comments.
Harrison just asked where your glasses were.
All right, let's see how bad the glare is so I can see some of these comments.
Oh, it's not bad at all, man. Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Oh, they're dirty.
Yeah, they look really
dirty. Should minimize the porn, though. We could all see it in the reflection.
In Arizona, so.
Hey, we did have a question come in, and I think it's pertinent as far as like you traveling. I'd love to get back to like your collection and projects you're working on.
I like questions.
All right. So, you know, you took off for a couple days for work, you take vacations, do other things like that. So the question is this person's leaving on vacation for 1 month, and they were wondering if it would be okay not to feed and only provide water for that time. So what's your opinion on that? What would you do?
I don't think that's as healthy for small snakes. I think they need to be fed more regularly. I feel like they have a higher metabolism just like regular kids, and they're growing, and your body uses more energy when you grow. I think that they can become unhealthy, and I like to create a pattern of feeding for my snakes so they stay steady feeders. I don't want them to go on long hiatuses, so I don't put them on long hiatuses. I would. That's a tough question. I think your bigger snakes, they would be okay. Is that ideal? Not at all.
Yeah. I think that's
snakes don't eat for a month.
Yeah, that would be. I don't think I would ever take a month off feeding ball pythons. I would consider taking a month off feeding a giant retic after it just ate a turkey.
Feed it a large meal.
Yeah, But ball pythons, I don't think I would take a month off. I know the snake could do it. The snake, I don't think, would die from that because I'm sure in the wild they go extended period of times without eating because it's the nature of reality. But I don't think I would necessarily go a month. I think you might be able to push 2 weeks with adults, but I don't think I would go a month.
Yeah, we've had some people commenting in the chat, also kind of chiming in and stuff, and like Brian was saying, like for an adult, probably completely fine. It won't really hurt the adult, right? They get fast for a lot longer than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If somebody called me and says my adult ball python hasn't eaten for a month, I'm like, okay, that's pretty normal.
Yeah,
it happens. Just don't.
Hatchlings might not be the right deal. So I think they completely answer the question. If your snake is young, and by young, I would probably say anything under like, probably 700 grams. Yeah, right around there. If it's under that weight range, then I probably wouldn't go an entire month. Like Nick was pointing out, you might mess up its feeding, and it might take a while to get back on food, things like that. So if you do have somebody around that could handle just defrosting a rat for you and tossing it in.
For the younger ones. Yeah.
If you have to leave a month, there's a lot of people in a lot of different cities all over. Make sure you have lots of friends in the reptile industry. If I lived in Arizona, I'd call Joe.
Yeah.
If I lived anywhere closer than 10 hours from Adam, I'd call him.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of people out there willing to help with stuff like that. I feel like in this community, if you can reach out. So we got the, Will from Royal Canadian Reptiles has a question that I really like, and it's biggest sleeper gene.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that question. I love it.
Biggest sleeper gene. Right now, I think obviously Justin Cabella is very good at finding sleeper genes and working them. I really like the leopard spot nose stuff. I have some projects going in that direction. I right now am trying to figure out some more about het red xanthic. And if you're not familiar with that gene, it's the stupidest name for a incomplete dominant that I've ever heard of, because it has a super form and it's not a recessive.
But it's tough because it's actually still right.
Correct, because essentially
they're all most
visual heads.
It's almost the most right name.
You're correct. Everything is a visual head that has a visual form.
It's the worst name for our market.
Correct.
Yeah.
It confuses the heck out of people because of the way it's already set up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Yeah. So there is a super form, and it's just a red xanthic.
Right.
And I think I had some stuff out of simple combinations, and was really pleasantly surprised with what I got. I even just a lesser het red xanthics that I hatched out had like a solid back stripe from the head to the middle of their body, and it was like a brick red color.
Yeah.
And so I think if you can capture that, you can keep pushing it. I have a GHI het red xanthic, and he's my breeder male, and I've been throwing him to some.
He's gorgeous too. Yeah. He's really pretty.
throwing into some interesting things. So I'm excited where that's going. I think that one was a gene that people gave up on.
I can see that.
And so I think it still can be worked.
Yeah. Did you, Adam, I know you're really into puzzles as well. Have you seen that red exanthic puzzle that I think Corey Woods just posted?
Corey Woods.
Yeah.
He's got a super pastel version too.
Yeah, that's a cool looking snake.
Silver, man.
Yeah.
It's very cool, very cool. Yeah, I only have one snake that has het red exanthic, an onyx. It's it's a cinnamon onyx, so not black pastel. So.
Right. That's cool. Yeah. I don't have any HRA.
And I was planning on working it into to puzzle as well.
Yeah, that looked really good. That looked really good in puzzle, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so Clutch X gave us a good. We'll pull another one from chat. Clutch X, by the way, great animals. This guy's he's building some cool stuff. Huge breeding facilities versus boutique breeders. What do you think the future is?
I think there's space for both, because I picture it like wine almost, where there's people who really appreciate the deep colors and differences and notes of different ball python mutations and combinations. And then there's some people who just want a cool looking pet snake.
Yeah, they just want a banana.
Right. And there's people who want to be in the space and are passionate about the space, but don't have time to handle something that could support a Petco or PetSmart or some bigger chains or any sort of reptile shop in general.
Right.
And I think since there's people who just like to drink and there's people who are sommeliers, I think that same thing can exist in ball pythons.
Right. Yeah, what a politically correct answer. Yeah.
Well, I just apparently got lawyered up, so I just wanted to make sure you're not going to eat me alive again.
No, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. And I like what you touched on earlier too, like, nobody should really enter this thinking like they're going to be making millions of dollars tomorrow. Right. And so boutique breeders will always have a place because those are going to typically be the people that love it and have the passion for it and just keep going, trying to produce something cool for themselves and not necessarily pumping it out like the guys that have the contracts,
Right. Yeah. Too many people with the same names do make for a bad interview, Brian. I will agree with that Brian video you just interviewed today. Just a little heads up. Too many Brians in that video.
Joel is on one today. He's coming for you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Over there.
So what are your thoughts? One of the questions, Brenda Lynn, what are your thoughts on having a YouTube channel or Facebook as a platform for selling animals? I want to hear what Adam's got to say about this.
Wait, ask that again. Sorry, I got distracted by chat right when that was coming up.
Oh, we go back up to it.
The Brenda Lynn, right? Yep.
So Brandon Lindsay says, what are your thoughts on having a YouTube channel in this hobby versus just posting on Facebook or Instagram?
Yeah, that is a good one for me because, for the longest time, I've really just utilized Facebook and Instagram and just recently more or less got into YouTube stuff and, struggle with content. It's fun. It's a lot of work. I think it's a necessity, actually, kind of moving forward. It's a valuable platform, right, to have a presence on, just like Instagram and Facebook. And so in that aspect, it's kind of important to figure out how that pertains to you. I don't think it's like the answer to everything, right? Again, I don't think it's like if you get a YouTube channel, all of a sudden you're going to be the next like biggest thing out there, or whatever your goal is. Basically have a goal. So my goal is to share my passion on Instagram, Facebook, and also create some content on YouTube that I think maybe people would be interested in. So
yeah.
What about you? Now that you have a big Instagram and you're doing well on YouTube, you have a different opinion because you're a little farther along than Adam and I.
I really like YouTube. I think I'm starting to like YouTube more than Instagram. I don't do Facebook. I just hate Facebook.
Yeah.
Not saying that there isn't some good stuff on Facebook. I just have a tough time with it.
Yeah.
But I really like YouTube. I like YouTube because I feel like in YouTube you can kind of see who a person is. Instagram is, I guess I would call Instagram a little less intimate.
Yeah.
You get to, you know, and the thing is too, is I guess people can be fake on their YouTube channels and stuff like that.
The saying goes, I hope your life is as fabulous as you make it seem on Instagram.
Right. It's the same thing on YouTube. You can make your, you know, you can be a completely different person on YouTube.
Totally.
But it's the people so far that I've met from YouTube, at least in this hobby and this industry, have been dang near exactly who they are, that they are on YouTube, that they are in person. And I think that's what makes it great, is when you meet the authentic people from YouTube. It's such a cool experience. So I guess to answer it completely, I love YouTube. I think everybody should do YouTube. I think it's really instrumental for bringing new people into the hobby. And I think it's a really good, you know, honestly, marketing tool for yourself.
Yeah. For me, because I'm so awkward to stand there and talk to myself or like make a video by myself.
Yeah.
I just started YouTube. I made my first video. It was so painful for me to try to talk to myself. I just felt so weird or awkward. And then the other day I tried to do it walking through the airport.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's
the dumbest thing. It really is.
You just feel stupid.
You do.
And you have to let your pride go in some of those situations.
Man, you just gotta let that go.
And it's tough to do.
Yeah,
I think you have some practice under your belt now.
It's helped.
Yeah, it's helped. And so you're able to kind of get by it because you realize how great the content is once you put it in the video.
Right. You know who really helped me with that, honestly, is Cusco and Miguel. Is being at the shows with them. They are completely confident with it, and that helps a lot.
And I think it really works because that's how Cusco really is.
Exactly.
He's that nice, and he likes to joke around, and he pranks and stuff like that. And that's how Miguel is. He really gives you that many high fives and says big dog.
Yeah, dude. And so it gives you confidence to be yourself and be yourself like that in public with a camera.
And I think those things are really good for the hobby.
Yeah.
I think being genuine, showing that you care about the animals. We're not doing like pranks where we're getting attacked by anything and the animal could potentially get hurt.
Right.
That's not what the point is. And I think I started YouTube because I've now more than ever, now that I've linked up with you guys and met you at Tinley and some of these other shows, now I have these great experiences that I think should be shared with other reptile people.
Right.
That don't necessarily, I feel blessed to have the friends that I have.
Right.
And so not everyone has that opportunity to go to Tinley in Chicago. And so, or come out to California for Pomona. So I think it's a blessing to be able to share those experiences with everyone in the reptile community.
Yeah.
And I think that YouTube is a great platform to do it because it's live. And so when I meet people like Adam or Joel or Brian, it's like I already know you guys.
Yeah, and that's what's really cool. That's what's really cool about it. Less awkward when you meet up too.
Totally. It's like we started on like 1 year of friendship versus 1 day.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah. What so equipment wise, because I know this is always something that kind of comes up with the YouTube topic. Do you think do you feel it's necessary, right, to have tons of equipment, or how did you guys start off kind of thinking about, how am I going to do this? I know myself, I started really on my cell phone. I just recently picked up a camera, but that was kind of how I've done my last couple videos. So
I'm still on the cell phone.
Yeah.
I just bought a light box just to take better pictures on Instagram because I was just using a plastic Sterilite lid for plastic containers. But sometimes you can see the little button in the top or you can see that it said Sterilite underneath the snake. So just trying to improve slowly. You don't have to buy in at all these, and your phone's a great camera. And there's a cow in the room with us who doesn't like people, so this is fun. He'll growls at me every once in a while just to make sure he knows we ain't cool.
Well, we talked earlier. It's going to be right to the jugular at about the 30-minute mark. Yeah. Oh, we've already passed that, so that's where they're.
He's already look at it. See him? See him? Look. Oh man.
Yeah. YouTube's great, man.
Yep. Well, you know, jumping off of YouTube, Mr. Will had another good question. He goes, if you could pick up one combo, made or not made, to have right this second, what is it?
Dude.
That's a great question, too.
Anything you want. This is the genie in a bottle situation.
Quadruple recessive. That takes the most time, the most patience, and the most money if you're going to buy in anywhere above quad heads. Even then, it's at least $1,000.
Yeah. And the odds on a quad head, 1 in 64 or something, 121 to 128 or something.
And your odd, but buying a quad hat, your odds of getting a triple hat go up.
Right.
And double and down the line.
Right.
So people are like, oh, I don't want to get a quad head. There's like, you know how patient I would have to be to get that? Yeah, to get the ultimate quad head, but not the triple, not the double.
Not the double, yeah.
What quad? What quad would you go with?
Oh.
Yeah.
Clown Pied, because I just bought one.
That was an amazing pickup, but we won't get into that.
And people may argue with me about these next two.
Okay.
And Joel agrees with me that these haven't been given enough love or been worked, I think, as hard as we can. And I almost want to sub one out for puzzle, but I'm not going to.
Okay. Dude, you can't enter me in a bottle situation. But
can I do 5?
Literally, he opened the door.
Every recessive. And make me choose, and just to maybe start some conversation here.
Yeah.
I would do Clown Pie, but I also do Genetic Stripe and Ghost or Hypo.
Okay.
The reason I would do that is because I really like Hypo clowns, and I really think Genetic Stripe clowns are underappreciated, and Clown Pie together is magical. And so,
Clown Pie, man.
I think
so you get a wicked head stamp, really cool dorsal spotting going on with that beautiful hypo color coming through.
Yeah. Orange from the clown.
Well, and the pied.
And the pied.
Pied and oranges. Yeah.
That's such a tough
hypo.
question.
Just the hypo pieds are really pretty all by themselves. They're really pretty.
I would say a banana.
What was the question?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, for the original question, I thought there was
just a bit.
Will just
what did Rich McCall just say?
Clown Pie, Desert Ghost, and one of the stripes. Yeah, that I would do Clown Pie, Sunset DG.
Yeah, God, I didn't even think about Desert Ghost.
That's
what
I did.
This is just getting too hard now. Whatever Rich McCall says, I'm doing that.
Yeah. Right.
And this is also the reason why all of us own more than one snake.
Yeah, that's why we have entire rooms dedicated.
Ooh, I like to go clean and bright, and I'm like, wait, I like dark and busy.
Yeah, exactly.
So they veer off, and then sometimes they cross again at a different road. And
so, okay, I feel like this is a good way to start that. Then, so what's a project you might want in on that you don't have?
Puzzle right now, and confusion.
Okay.
I love busy and pattern changing morphs and mutations. God, just puzzle's going to be awesome. And it's recessive, and that's so exciting. And I know confusion is a co-dom or an incomplete dominant or a visual recessive, a visual het. However, Joel wants to lawyer me up on this one, but I really liked what Justin had on his table, especially mixed with that red stripe and a little bit of yellow belly. And it's not that crazy of a combo, but God, that was a good looking snake.
It was. That was great looking snake. That confusion stuff's like you said, it's bringing out vibrant colors
and just high contrast. And it looks, I know it sounds weird, but the speckling is so random. It almost looks like somebody sneezed on the snake.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Now I look at sneeze snakes. Now
so this one coming out with, it's called Booger.
Yeah. Booger. Yeah.
So cool. I was just about to say that.
Flu shot.
Sweet.
But you know what I like about the confusion is it's working really well with like pastel and yellow belly, like things like leopard did well, but not as good. So
yeah. I think that confusion puzzle is going to be pretty cool.
Sub-Zero Restrictors just said 23 genes mixed together.
Dr.
I'm
Pepper.
going to one up you with Baskin Robbins and 31.
Yeah. Heinz 57, dude. Jack Daniel 47. Isn't that? Yeah, oh yeah, 57 Heinz. Got it. Yeah. But there's a lot though. Still, we can. Well, Jack Daniels would be before Heinz.
Correct.
We got to work our way there.
Correct.
Well, I bet you it'd be a white snake.
Yeah. It would be white. Yeah. It would be white. Hey Ray, how you doing, man? Glad you can make it.
Definitely. Yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in. And we got 34 people watching right now. I haven't refreshed in a little bit, so it could be more than that. So really appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
And we have had a few more questions coming in. I know before we jump into, we've got a couple questions, Joel, you like lining up that are awesome. But I thought this one was kind of good and may spark some, additional.
Absolutely.
I like questions.
Was first snake, would you buy baby or adult? What's your opinion?
What do you think?
I bought my first 4 snakes were hatchlings. Thereafter, I was buying subadults in the 500 to 600 gram range. And then this year, I bought all hatchlings besides one. That first, I was kind of preparing for that first breeding season. I kind of got, the first one, and then really wanted to push forward. So I went with the subadults, but the tough part with the subadults is they're going to be more expensive. So I think that's something to consider. Like a subadult female is going to be more. So I was paying a higher price
For results sooner.
for the results sooner. That's all I was doing. Yeah.
So I think a lot of it just depends on where you're at financially. And also what you want to get out of the experience. I think there's something to be said about knowing what that snake looks like as a hatchling, because almost every mutation, no matter what the combo is, changes in some way, shape, or form. And so you learn about genetics and the combos and what they look like. So maybe your ability to ID snakes fresh out of the egg can be a little bit stronger. Also, you can control the attitude a little better, because if you want something that's really handleable, I'm going to work from it from a young age and really get it going. And it can be done. I had this little Satan pastel male that was freak, almost jump out of the tub if you opened it and try to bite your face off. And I gave it to my buddy who really wanted a snake and used to have reptiles. And now he lays on his bed and it lays on his chest and he kisses it on the nose. And I just can't believe it's the same snake.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
So it can be done. So yeah, I just say whatever you want to get out of it.
I like that though, because too, when you buy hatchlings is then they grow to your feeding schedule too.
Correct.
They grow to your environment.
Correct.
They grow to the, where your room's at, where they're at in the tub, all of your stuff they are adapted to too, because they grow with you, obviously.
Right. And like Nick at Wyoming Reptiles, it's been a lot of trash or joking talk, but this one is actually a serious comment, believe it or not. Is raising snakes from babies and then having them lay is more rewarding. And I absolutely 100% agree with you. That happened for me 2 years ago. Or actually last breeding season. My 2 mystic females were the first snakes I ever hatched out, and they laid eggs for me. For me, yeah. And they were bred to the Black Pastel Mojave Hypo.
Right.
And so the combinations of that were not only really cool, and I got some unexpected results, but they were females that I hatched, and then they produced. And then
they laid for you.
And I now have some of that offspring.
Yeah.
And held them back.
Yeah, generations. That's the ultimate goal. Yeah, I like that.
And for myself, and I've seen some comments pop through chat, and so I think it's a double kind of question. If you're new into this, I think buying a hatchling that's not too small, right? Like something that has a little bit of weight on it, but still is small, is one of the best ways to go. Because you get to raise the snake, learn from it, and as it's developing, you're learning, right? And two, to remember, if you're new into this, if you buy an adult, most people don't sell adults that don't maybe have some, it's not working out for them for some reason, right? Now, some people sell adults that are good to go, ready to roll, but they're gonna, right? Like Nick was saying earlier, but they're gonna be on Nick's feeding schedule. So you get this new snake in, it might take
every Sunday.
you know, a month or two to get acclimated to you. So sometimes adults can come and they take a little more work to kind of work into what you got, right? With a hatchling, you can work it into your schedule and go from there.
Yeah. I would always ask a lot more questions about the snake and its history when buying from somebody. And if they can't give you those answers, personally, I wouldn't buy it.
Right.
But like if you're asking me and I'm telling you, well, this is how many snakes I have, and based on my schedule, and if you can verify that that's true, and I can give ask for a reference.
Right.
Like if I tell you to give Adam from BeachBum Xotics a call and Joel, and tell them if they think what I'm saying is accurate. Sketch, totally sketch. Because I would never refer you to Joel. I mean, that is why. There was your red flag. So.
But Joel, that leads us into the next question too, like buying babies and adults and stuff. And we've touched on that a little bit. It's the $3,500 question. I don't know if you want to jump into that. That one's always kind of fun.
So that's kind of the two-part question that Adam and I came up with. The
tough one.
Starting out with 3,500 and then already established 3,500.
Do I have to buy racks and all that?
Yeah, it's 3,500 all in, man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're starting out. Yeah, you're starting out from zero, And then if for the other question,
I'll make more money in 5 years or 3 years.
What?
I'm not asking too much.
We're talking about 3,500 for zero, and then 3,500 from where you are right now.
Okay.
This is
I have to buy racks and all that.
This is a fake Nick and present Nick question.
Yes, present Nick.
Now, I would definitely not do what I did. So let's be clear about that. Royal Can. Sorry, I'm reading.
Are you in space right now? Dude, he's getting too deep, man. He's getting too deep.
Having conversations with Joel makes you really think about your words, and sometimes you can't say what's.
I'm a stickler for words.
Fantastic. So, starting from scratch, obviously you got to buy a rack. I like what Joel has, and he has a larger tub rack with a divider down the middle. I think that's a really good idea because now that rack gets bigger as they grow, and it looked like they could stay in there for at least 500-600 grams.
Yeah, I've had a male that didn't want to leave at 700.
Yeah, I've done that. I tried to switch them to a 70, and they wouldn't eat, so I put them back in a 40.
Yeah.
And I would just buy females because it's going to be 3 years.
What would you buy though? Like what females would you buy? With 3,500, would you consider doing a Freedom Breeder style rack or a PVC rack, or would you maybe build your own?
I built my own.
Okay.
I built 11 highs. I found it on like a king snake forum or something, a DIY.
So that saves a lot of money.
It was still, after all the parts and all the tubs and all the time and the bruises and cussing because I was by myself and getting those things started.
It sucks.
It's a pain.
It sucks. Yeah.
It still cost me like $600.
Yeah.
For six, I think it's between $600 and $800 for the 11 high.
Right. Right.
Big long ones.
So that would be kind of. I think these sea serpent 5 highs. I think are $450 maybe.
Right.
Each. So.
Right. So if you were to get a 10 high of that, I'd say let's say use $1,000.
You've saved. Yeah. Okay, you've saved a little bit.
There's $2,500 left.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely buy some visual recessive females.
Which one? Let's get specific.
Either some, so many options. Some double heads, maybe, females to start out, or maybe even some visual like clown or pied. Because I still think for 3,500, you're not going to be able to get some of the newer things that are out right now.
No, yeah, this is going
to be more relevant. This is right now. Yeah, I would definitely buy some clowns, some pied. Those are always crowd favorites. The combination of those move really well. And all these giveaways I've been seeing on Instagram is for the clown males, I guess. Because people can't seem to sell those.
They're harder.
So I would definitely just buy as many females as I could. I would say if you have a 10 slot, you could get 8 females, and if you really wanted males, just to watch them grow from the whole baby and just to have that ratio.
Well, I mean, you're starting out.
You can get 2 males, and you can have a 2 to 4, which should be okay.
Yeah, that should be really good.
Shouldn't overdo it.
Yeah, you could get, you know, het females, and you could get visual males.
Right. And maybe even some like a codom with the recessive, something clown or something.
Like a het or something. Yeah.
Or a het and work your odds.
With a couple codoms.
Right, and work your odds. You two just made really smart purchases. With your puzzle stuff, you guys got your codoms mixed in there. You got some really cool codoms that have cool patterns, and they were mixed with really awesome hets that the puzzle gene that are new and out in the game. The cow's back in the room, and later down the road, when you guys are ready to buy your visual puzzle males, after those females are developed, the price is going to be lower. And you may be able to get a couple different genetics mixed in with them. Yeah. So I think you guys made really smart purchases.
All right. So starting out today, where you're at currently, what would you do with that 3,500?
Pretty much what I just did at Pomona.
Yeah.
I have proven breeder clown pied male.
Yeah,
I don't think I did a bad.
That was great.
Considering how many people came up to me afterwards and were like, "You got that?" And what?
Yeah.
And we're just, no, where was that?
Yeah.
And especially since Ozzy Boards grabbed me and was like, hey, did you see this? If you can do it, get it right now. And I was like, who is this guy? He goes, I vouch for me, he buys for me all the time. I'm like, all right, done.
Right.
If Ozzy tells you to do something as far as purchasing a snake, and he looks really excited about it, and he buys the same one. Yeah. I felt pretty confident in my decision at that time. I'm glad my girlfriend was still sleeping up in the hotel room. And
you got away with it.
I got away with it. Obviously, she found out from everyone that came up to me right after that, and we had to have a separate conversation. But it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah. So they say. Yeah. So freaking right, Rich. That's right. Absolutely.
I know, Rich. Oh my goodness, man.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that was a great pickup, dude.
So like we got another one from Will. Yeah. What's your most anticipated?
Oh, I'm really excited that my GHI Mojave Pinstripe Het Clown male that I bought at Tinley a year ago is ready to go and locking with clown females.
Yeah.
I'm excited about my Banana Fire Het Clown female maker male to my lesser Het Clown female.
Nice.
I think a nuclear banana clown would be
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited I want it to look like it's on fire.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool. And I'm really excited about this clown pied male because I'm going to put it to a Mojave hypogenetic stripe female that I produced. And she's ready to go.
Quad heads.
Get some quad heads.
There's your quad heads.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. It's going to be awesome.
May have been why I favored that Ford combo, even though Desert Ghost puzzle and everything else was still out on the table that I could have gotten. But I'm just excited to see what that all is gonna pop out.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that a lot. Yeah. All right, so we're right about at almost an hour. So you want to maybe do the Spitfire lightning round questions, and then maybe take some questions from the audience. Adam, what do you think?
Yeah. I think that's good. And then we got to see the bongo. We've had multiple requests too. So
Okay. I can go snag that.
Can't leave that one.
Let's do the fire.
All right. So we got the lightning round. Whatever you think, you got to just say.
Do I get a phone a friend?
No.
Street shout out.
Lifelines are absent in this
I've been watching a lot of Cash Cab, so this kind of screws up my plan.
Cash Cab's great, by the way.
Just test my wit.
Yeah, we're just going straight test your wit. No street shout outs.
All right, here we go.
Hammer can help you if you want.
He doesn't like me.
Yeah. So
he tolerates me.
You're screwed.
Yes.
Okay. So what's your favorite color?
Black.
Okay. Jeans, pants, that is, button or zipper?
Zipper. How you gonna pee?
Gosh, dude, you people are weird.
I ain't got time for that.
I'm a button guy.
Gotta get back to the game.
You want to know why? Because it's inconvenient. Anyways, favorite childhood movie?
Lion King.
Okay. Favorite thing to eat?
Pizza.
Oh, pizza. Yeah.
Love pizza.
Mine tastes good too, by the way.
Yeah.
And then final question, superpower. Any superpower, what would it be?
The ability to heal.
Oh, okay. Good for you. Yeah, great superpower.
I've worked in hospitals. Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the brain.
He's up for what? Miscongeniality after this? Is that what this is? Or the ability to heal? The nicest answer ever.
Okay, if that were true, you would get so candy barred right now.
Gosh.
Nick, you already have a girlfriend. You don't need any.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Yourself or others. Ability to heal yourself or others. How selfish are you? I guess I didn't ask that. Thanks, Harrison.
Good job, Harrison.
You know, Harrison, I'm not at belly button level, so I don't need to heal myself and become taller. You gotta watch what you say, boy. I'm just playing. Obviously, others. I work in hospitals a lot for a living, and it's just really sad to see some really undeserving people and what their families and then have to endure, because it's not just the person that's sick, it's their family too. So by healing one person, you're really healing many. So
spiderweb.
Yeah.
Spiderweb. Yeah.
So you can call it lame, you can call it what it is, but I'm maybe 6'4", but I'm a big teddy bear. So
yeah, I like that. Dude.
I like animals more than people.
It's a great answer. Honestly, it's the best answer we've heard, I think.
Okay.
For sure.
You're making me blush.
I'm super selfish. So yeah, that was a great answer. That was really good.
Nick says you can already heal yourself, so
good. All right. I'm gonna go snag the bongo.
Right, go grab that. We did have a few questions come in. So Mr. Feely would like to know, in your opinion, what species of snake or species of reptile, I guess, do you consider as most undervalued?
That's a fantastic question. God, what have I been? I can just say what I've been really into right now.
Yeah.
I really like the abronias, which obviously they're gaining more popularity with the exposure that Forrest is giving them. I have an abronia Gramineae, and it's blue, and he's just cool to look at, and he has a cool little personality, and he's blue, which isn't a common color in animals and nature.
Yeah.
I really like those Eastern Indigos that they picked up. That's pretty darn cool. It looked like a king cobra with the head scales. What else? I mean, I guess it's like depends on who's getting it. Because I don't think all really cool reptiles are great to own.
Right.
I don't think everyone should have a croc monitor.
Yeah.
I don't think just because it's legal for you to have a caiman that you should have one.
Right.
Just like I don't think people should have tigers.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
I understand conserving and making sure we're protecting species and making zoos are necessary because it's people love what they and want to protect things that they can touch and feel and know about. So yeah, some guy asked me the other day, can I buy a ball python off you for my son and my daughter? They're 3 and 5.
Right.
And I said no. And I'll tell you why. I think you should get a tortoise.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they said, why is that?
Absolutely.
And I said, they're a lot more durable. And if it's going to bite you, you can see it coming.
Yeah.
It's pretty slow motion. So
yeah, that's a great starter reptile.
I think small tortoises like a fox turtle or a leopard tortoise or something like that.
Yeah.
I just don't think a baby ball python who's terrified it's going to be eaten should. I mean, I think that's how people get scared of snakes for the rest of their life. Is
they have a bad experience. Yeah, they have a bad experience.
They just don't know why they're scared. They're just scared.
Right.
I don't know. What do you think, Adam? What are underappreciated reptiles? I know I went on a pet tangent there, but
no, underappreciated. Goodness, like collared lizards, I think are kind of underappreciated. Just to pull one completely out of the air. I love the colors with them. I don't own any myself, but I think that they're a very cool species. I also think, like snake-wise,
Yeah, that's what these pythons wanted to know too, is what snake.
You know, I really like the blue barons, the racers.
Yes.
Man.
Oh my God.
Just like you said earlier, blue is a kind of a rare color in reptiles, and I love it. Like, I love that color so much.
I think outside of ball pythons, I'm gonna try to like go after a blue collection.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool.
Alrighty, what do you got in your hands there?
All right, so yeah, this is that bongo female that just recently picked up. She's holding on to me pretty tight, so I'm trying to get her to you guys. Yeah, so she is a bongo vanilla cinnamon orange dream. I literally have none of these genes here. They're all in this one animal. So, you know, she's pretty special here for sure. Really pretty too. And when they're hatchlings, they're almost like just red, like just stark red. And
Where'd
then
you get it from again?
Picked it up from Ozzy. Yeah, great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy. Yeah,
help me out.
Yeah,
right.
Great guy.
What's your plans? What's your plans with her?
Yeah, so I guess I don't know. You know, I think there's a lot to be done still with what this snake can bring out. I think the colors in this snake will highlight a lot of things. I think the first thing I kind of want to do with her is I want to go straight to recessives, obviously. And so we'll see what I have at that time. But right now, I hope by the time she's ready, I might have a male puzzle.
Yeah.
By that time, a visual. I think this combo and puzzle would just be insane with the striping that's down it.
Totally agree.
It would be that's, you know, everything that's involved with her is long term, super long term, because I want it to be instantly recessive. So,
yeah. Ben, great plan, dude.
Yeah.
Amazing snake.
Yeah, super pumped with her. But
one of the good questions was, what was your favorable or most memorable pet or most influential pet reptile that you've had in your life?
Well, that is a good question.
Would you say it's Pebbles?
Yeah, I would say she's stand out my favorite right now. But I guess, you know, the most influential was probably one of my first snakes. You know, I got a corn snake when I first started. And so that kind of kicked off all of this, I guess, if you think about it, you know, the very first reptile. But yeah, Pebbles right now for sure. I love that snake.
Yeah, mine would obviously be the snake that I still have.
Right.
And I'm going to be pretty, I've never cried over a reptile dying.
Yeah.
I've loved all my pets. But, you know, a lot of reptiles, you don't really have that emotional connection back and forth, like with a dog.
But, certainly.
You know, some of the more intelligent reptiles,
right?
Especially reticks, when you get to snakes, or some of the more intelligent lizards, or even like a tortoise, that live a really long time.
Yeah, they've been with you forever,
and they definitely have some cool little personalities on some of those tortoises.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monty would be a tough one for me.
Yeah,
that guy has been there.
Yeah, you have a bond with
my whole life, everything.
Yeah.
And he's gotten a lot of people to consider reptiles or like reptiles, or at least let their kids have an experience with reptiles that wouldn't have done that otherwise.
Right.
So I think he's a good ambassador.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Yeah.
What about you, Adam?
Yeah. What do you got, Adam?
Influential reptile for myself.
Greg the Toad.
That is true. Heather just said, I forgot, like when we lived in Arizona back in, let's see, 2004 and 5, we had an awesome pixie frog, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
This thing was so cool, man. His name was Greg. Like, we got him from...
That's like the best name.
You're just like regular, common.
I love that. I love that.
The most generic name you could give to Greg. Like, but he was cool, and he was so much fun because, I mean, he was one of those animals too. When people came over, they were like, "Well, what do you have in the tank there?" It's like, well, that's a massive pixie frog. And they're like, well, I don't see anything there. I'm like, well, you could put your finger down in the tank and see if something moves.
Yeah.
And they'd start to do it. I'd be like, no, I'm just joking. He will literally take your finger off. So
yeah, that will snatch you like the real trimmers.
But for me, like, I don't know, that species just really kind of, that one hit home for me. And then, yeah. So,
yeah.
But now it's the super dwarf reticulated pythons today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who is, I think, Wyoming Nick had another serious question. I got to find them. They're dotting in and out of there, but you pass it.
That was the most influential
pet or animal person ever. So what
human
animal ambassador most influenced you in your life? Mine's really obvious. I was just dressed up as him for my girlfriend's birthday on the 30th, and that would be the crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin. I have a 11-foot retic named Bindi, and I just got her a boyfriend named Irwin.
Right.
I dressed my dogs up as crocodiles to go with the costume. And I took the big 10-foot retic out in a room. 30 people were over that had never really been around reptiles like that. And everyone was petting her and holding her by the end of it and taking pictures with her. And, and now, again, we have more people being influenced by reptiles. So Steve Irwin for sure is me. What about you?
Hands, Steve Irwin is really great. There was, and I can see their faces and it's slipping my mind. But he was like the other guy of Steve Irwin. There was another guy at the same time. He was, who was it?
Jack Hanna? Is that who you're thinking of?
Jack Hanna. Yes, Jack Hanna. I really like Jack Hanna. Yeah, he was cool.
Heather just said that was hers also.
Yeah, Jack Hanna is great.
I'd say David Attenborough is another good one.
Joel, did you watch all the Zoo Life videos when you were a kid too?
Yeah, and
Zoo Life,
and I think I was watching another reptile show, maybe Jeff Corwin, and he had said that David Attenborough was an influence of him, which at a young age made me go look, and figure out who that was and realize he was doing it for everybody. So
yeah, there's lots. I mean, just most recently with the ball pythons, and other things. Brian Barczyk, actually, man, I
absolutely
love that guy. Like he's brought so many people, I should say, and so much to the industry as well. So that guy really is a huge influencer.
He has a huge influence on the YouTube being a platform for reptiles, for sure. Can't argue that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I speaking, it's unfortunate, but I watched everything I can find that Ben Rennick talked about. I loved what that guy was doing, how he was setting up his structure to his logo to just like, he was so precise. I love that. I love that about him. So
who's the current one? That's still around.
Yeah, I mean, most influential
for you personally. It doesn't have to be for everybody.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I think that's probably still it. I still admire what he was doing, and I try to do smart decisions on, like, I felt like stuff he would do. And I know Will knew him, but
I would say for me, somebody who has a very innovative mind. It's not like it's my hero or anything, but it's somebody that I'm excited is influencing the reptile industry and doing things differently. And I can share some examples of that. It would be Garrett Hartle with the Super Dwarfs. I know Adam might agree with this. Because even his booth at Tinley was way different than anything that anyone else was doing.
Yeah.
The way that he packages animals and sends them out in gift boxes is different than what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
And when somebody is creating their own lane and doing really positive things and adding art to what kind of turned into an industrial-like setup, and he's still reaching outside the box, not just with what he's doing with reptiles, but with how he presents his company, I think is innovative and deserves respect.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing great things. Great things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Very true, man. So Will Filippic actually threw out a suggestion for your bongo female. He said tri-stripe would go good with that too.
Wow, yeah, it would go really well with that.
What are your opinions with tri-stripe, Nick?
What are my feelings on tri-stripe?
Yeah, well, yeah.
The most examples that I'd really ever seen of it was at Pomona.
Yeah,
I had never seen that much of it.
Killer
and Royal Canadian Reptiles picked up. Did he already announce what he picked up?
I don't know. Will, have you already discussed your pickup from?
If he doesn't answer in 2 minutes, then I'm going to answer.
Yeah,
we got like a 4 or 5 second delay.
Oh, okay.
Well, he should hear it any second now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
right around now. So
okay.
let's give him yes.
Yeah, he said go.
All right. So he picked up a female banana tri-stripe.
Yeah.
And the deep purples in that snake were incredible, and they were completely separate from the oranges and the yellows. And I just thought that looked really awesome, and it had great potential moving forward. Not only because it was a banana female, because it was a tri-stripe.
Right.
And he had a tri-stripe male, but I think what Will did was the right direction.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah.
Seen the D-stripe as well. It's more of, it looks a lot more like a black back. I feel like it's a little farther down the side, and there's still some pattern.
No, they're the same. No, I think they proved them the same. Tri-stripe is compatible with D-stripe. I'm pretty sure.
I think they're showing to be the same gene now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just the pictures that I had seen.
A lot more's been done with it. So you've seen different combos.
Yeah, the pictures that I saw, it looks like there was still some pattern on the back of the D-stripe stuff, where the tri-stripe examples that I've seen had a solid black back. So that, I didn't know that they were compatible. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what.
That was just what I had seen different.
Yeah. So, yeah, Cody, it was really cool.
So Nick brings up an interesting point. Do you think the price is commanding for, like, the price point? Is that correct for the tri-stripe? Do you think it's where it's at, or is it a misconception that it's too high?
I think the price that they were at on table, it's all good. I think the price that they were on a specific table may have not been reflective of the average price.
But in general, right? Like, because you could pick up like combo tri-stripe females for, I think, like $3,000, $3,500 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on the price of tri-stripe and D-stripe stuff. I think whatever that snake is worth to you and the potential, and I think just because one Inchy is priced at this price and another Inchy is priced at this price doesn't mean that one is right and one is wrong. Mm-hmm. There's different quality in all the animals.
Yeah.
There's different health guarantees based on who you know and what you know. It's harder for a breeder our size to sell a common genetic for a higher price than it is for Justin or Ozzy or anyone else, because we don't have recognition, loyalty, a following, consistent quality that comes out and like no bad reviews out of any animals they bought. So you're paying for the brand, like you're paying for Nike or you're paying for Lululemon or whatever.
You're paying taxes.
Quality. Right. And it doesn't mean they're not quality. And a lot of times those lines are excellent. They're not muddied up. They're great quality, and it's what you're willing to pay for. Do I want to make the best Orange Dreams, or do I want to make Orange Dreams?
Right. I want to make the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Do I want to make Red Stripes, or do I want to make JKR Red Stripe stuff? You know, like
I want to make better than that.
Right.
Yeah. 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 Very true, man. Very true.
Yeah.
So we're kind of getting to that, extended time. If there's any quick questions that you guys might want to ask, maybe we'll do that, and then I think we're gonna kind of wrap it up here.
Sign off. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'll still going.
Loki's face.
We are not going for daily length. No, heck no. We're in the wrap up right now.
Well, that conversation was good. I definitely was feeling it at the end. I needed the break.
I literally felt hungover the next day.
When I was texting somebody and he's like, I can't talk, I'm still doing the video. I'm like, what? Joel, it was you.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean you're still doing it?
Yeah.
Thought it was at 7. You're like, it was.
Yeah, it was.
I'm like, it's 10.
Yeah, it was a long one. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and lock it up now. Thanks everybody for coming here again.
Thank you.
Nick, you've been awesome. We'll have to have you on again soon.
Thanks. That was great. I love talking to you guys about it. I love fielding questions from people.
You guys, Loki saying goodbye too.
Yeah.
The hurricane. Hurricane Loki coming through.
But yeah, it's been awesome. Adam, anything you want to say real quick, or?
No, really appreciate everybody joining and, chatting. It's always fun with the whole community out there. And Nick, I appreciate, you joining with us too. You're such a good, you're one of the dudes that we always have so much fun with at the shows. And I've really enjoyed hanging out recently. So, man, thanks for joining us.
Great to have to call you guys friends.
Yeah. Adam, do you want to maybe let everybody know who's up next?
Yes. Yeah, we have a special guest next. He has been chatting in the chat tonight. Mr. Will Morrows from Royal Canadian Reptiles.
Good one.
He's going to be on. Yeah, he's going to be on next week. So I hope you guys all join in for that. That's going to be a really good one. Yeah, Nick's going to watch, and he's working on some awesome projects. He's a really good guy, really humbled guy. So it's just going to be a great show. Everybody tune in.
Yeah.
It's going to be on my channel also next week.
Yeah, that'll be on BeachBum's channel. So, all right, guys, we'll see you guys later.
It's pretty cool.